Welcome back to another episode of the Up North Journal, everybody. I'm your host, Mike Adams, and as always, my co-host tonight.
The other Mike Adams. Hey, what's up?
Hey, just like to remind everybody, we are part of the Outdoor Radio Network, and if you'd like to check out some other outdoor-related podcasts, go over to their website and check them out. And I'd also like to mention that we are now officially part of Skinny Moose Radio out on the East Coast. We made our debut out there last week. Michael, actually, you probably didn't know a whole lot about this, do you?
I heard the promo for it.
Yeah, no, that was actually for another website that we're on.
Oh.
We'll get a little more into that later, but we hooked up with Internet Radio website out on the East Coast. Actually, it's part of the group that I blog for on my Hooks and Bullets outdoor blog, and they are now streaming the Up North Journal podcast live. Well, it won't be live, but it'll be streamed live on the internet every Tuesday at 1 p.m. And if you'd like to know a little more about that, we'll have a link on that on our website on the outline page of where we are now hosting the podcast. You know, and that's something we haven't mentioned lately, Michael, that we did move. Last 2 or 3 weeks, I just kind of didn't say anything, and, we're still getting hits on both sites, and I guess that's okay, But for you guys who are linking and going to mypodcast.com and finding the show there may come a time when we may no longer be there, or we may have a problem uploading. And that's one of the reasons we did swap the podcast to this new site. And it was just having a lot of problems there for a while. It seemed to stabilize here. So if you guys ever have problems or all of a sudden you don't find us, go to our website, upnorthjournal.com. You'll find all of our information there of all the stuff we're doing. We haven't really updated that site in quite a while.
Yeah.
Just put some links on there, really. But
still got stuff there from bear season.
Oh, I need to do a little work on that website, and I don't know. You're on spring break this week, so maybe you can push me along to do that if we don't have a whole lot of work to do here. So, with no school going on, you can kind of pester me a little bit, I guess.
I don't know what I'm going to do with all this week off school.
I don't know. We'll find something to do though.
Yeah.
But we haven't mentioned this, but we are coming up on our 1-year anniversary. Hard to believe. We've been doing this for a year. And when our 1-year anniversary hits, you know where we're going to be? Down in Ohio doing our turkey hunt.
Cool.
So what better way to spend a 1-year anniversary than bringing you guys a action-packed week of turkey hunting out of state. So we got that to look forward to. And actually, we're going to have to get with it here pretty quick. And maybe this week with you being out of school, be a good time to start getting all of our so-called ducks in a row, getting ready and getting stuff packed.
Shoot them ducks.
Shoot them, that's right. And, getting our stuff packed, our bigger stuff, getting it organized, making sure we've got everything, making our checklists. And for those of you who kind of followed along here recently, we did put a turkey scouting checklist out on our Up North Journal hunting blog. And when we start doing this trip and getting everything really down to the nuts and bolts, we're going to do a major checklist for that, for an out-of-state hunt, and we're going to post that on that website also, or on that blog site for you guys to use. So something to kind of look forward to.
Not trying to get off topic, but like how you say ducks in a row, I'm starting to get froggy for duck season coming up this fall.
That's because you've seen all these ducks here recently, man. Ducks and geese are flying like crazy around the area. Spring's here. I mean, really
Still got ice on the lake, so.
Still got some ice, but the snow's just about gone. We did have one more major snow come this last week, and we are now officially a half-inch away from breaking the all-time record here in our area of the state for total snowfall for 1 year.
Yeah.
So I don't know that that's a record I really want to break. Half-inch, that's nothing, actually. So I guess we can say that we've had one of the snowiest winters on record. But it's finally starting to break. We don't have any snow on the ground except for in the hollows and in the little shadow spots around the woods and things like that. But the major snow's gone. It's supposed to be in the high 40s, low 50s later part of the week. And actually, I'm hoping maybe, just maybe, I can play a little hooky on Friday and take the day off. If that works out, then maybe we can get out and do something here because I know, like I said, you guys are on spring break.
I hope the ice breaks.
Yeah, well, if the ice starts breaking up, maybe we might actually get the boat out. And that's something else we got to get ready for the trip because we're going to try and do a little fishing while we're down doing a little turkey hunting too. But, we talked about switching the podcast. Like I said, I haven't mentioned that a whole lot here recently, but it's something we did do. So if you guys could get over there to the other website and hook up over there, the numbers are starting to increase, and that's good. Actually, for last week's show, the numbers, or not last week, 2 weeks ago show, the numbers are really good. And this last show we did last week is really coming along well, too. So I think people are starting to find us over there. That or our numbers are increasing, one of the two. And either way, that's a good thing. So if you guys are new to the show, I appreciate you joining and listening in to hear what we got to say. Always look forward to new listeners. Give us an email. Shoot us an email. You can reach us off of our website, or actually you can email me. My email address is michaeladams@upnorthjournal.com. That's pretty simple to remember. So michaeladams@upnorthjournal.com. Comments, concerns, recipes, free hunts that you would like to take us on, a fishing trip, anything,
fly patterns,
anything that you guys you got on your mind. Shoot us an email. We love to talk, and whether it be hunting, fishing, outdoors, whatever. But one thing that we've kind of dabbled into here and got really cranked up with here in the last week or two is I've done a lot more video editing, getting some older hunts and fishing trips and things like that kind of knocked out that I've had sitting on the computer for a while. And we actually got out and did quite a bit this weekend that I'm as we speak right now, I'm uploading video to the internet. So I hope this doesn't mess the show up, and I hope it doesn't crash my upload. But I'm kind of multitasking here right now.
You multitask a lot.
But we've been uploading quite a bit to YouTube, and we have a channel there. And we also are uploading most of our video to myhuntingandfishing.com. Really cool site. It's a cool website. That's who we did the promo for that you're thinking of.
Okay.
That he's got a real nice little icon on his front page. Go to myhuntingandfishing.com. Got a lot of stuff there. A lot of things are really interactive. It's kind of like a hunting MySpace type thing. You
kind of like that No Camo Space thing.
Yeah, and it's a little different. You can post video. You can post audio. Matter of fact, we post our podcast there. I'm making that my actual, what I call Up North Journal television site, because I had some problems with YouTube. It was linking some really inappropriate things with my video that I didn't like, and this is a friendly, show as far as family-friendly, kid-friendly, and I was just getting some stuff there that I really didn't like. You can still see our stuff on YouTube, and the quality's a little better over there because I can upload it at a higher resolution, but that being said, I don't like the things that they were doing. So my main link goes to this guy's page here, and Jeff over there has really helped me out. He's a real nice guy, and we've been working back and forth on some stuff, and his site's really coming along well. Really interactive, a lot of stuff there. So go over and check that site out. You'll be amazed at how much stuff this guy's put up there in about 6 months period of time. We've been hooked up with him, I think, a little over a month now. And the traffic over there is doing pretty well. So,
just curious on talking about networking. Today I Googled Up North Journal, and there was at least 5 pages of stuff.
Yeah, man, it's kind of like we're starting to hit all over the place.
Yeah.
People are linking to us. And I talked to a guy. This is kind of off topic. I don't even have this in the outline for the show. But this week we were talking at work about networking back and forth and different things and how the internet's really come along. And by us starting this podcast, we have been able to network with so many people on so many different outdoor topics. And, our knowledge, I've gained so much knowledge of hunting and fishing and outdoors and products and all kinds of stuff, and we've picked up new techniques of hunting. We've picked up new types of hunting. You picked up bow fishing.
Yeah.
And then you got into duck hunting. You took me duck hunting.
And then fly fishing.
Fly fishing. Well, we haven't fly fished yet, but you've been tying flies all winter. We're hoping to do that here real soon. So we've made a lot of new friends. Bob Rich over there at the Bob Rich Shooting Journal. Guys, check out his website. He's got a lot of cool stuff over there. And actually, I don't know if you noticed it this week, Mike, but he's doing some videos now.
Yeah, I saw that.
And so that's pretty cool. We got another guy out there that's doing some video stuff, and he's doing some in-home type things, some different techniques and things like that. So that's really cool to see other guys that are getting out there and taking their camera and putting it to use.
How many videos does he have up? Because I've only seen the one.
He actually posted another one tonight.
Okay.
I haven't actually looked at it yet because like I said, I'm uploading now. But yeah, we're starting to see more stuff, and that's encouraging to see what other guys are doing. And being able to see what these guys look like, hear them actually talk, and you email them back and forth all the time, and, it's pretty cool. That's, the internet's it's really taken off for us here in the last year by leaps and bounds. We made a lot of friends. We've got people all the way from Alaska all the way to Connecticut, and all the way from Canada all the way down to Florida.
There's that one guy over in the Netherlands.
Yeah, we got a kid listening in the Netherlands, and
I'm not too sure about that guy in Jamaica though. If there is someone.
I don't know, but the guy in the Netherlands. I'm sorry, I forget. I don't have your name right here in front of me, but I know there's a young guy over there. We've corresponded back and forth a couple times, and that's really cool to think that there's somebody around the world listening to you and me talk about hunting and fishing, and we get to share ideas back and forth. That's what it's all about, man. It's a good time. But well, let's get on into kind of what we did this weekend.
Yeah.
We're sitting here, we've already burned a good 10, 15 minutes on this, and we need to kind of get things moving here. Yeah, this weekend we had our big turkey seminar. I belong to the local NWTF Flint River chapter here in Flint, Michigan, and we put on our annual turkey seminar. And they brought in a pro, Mike Kennedy, I think was his name.
Yeah, from Primo's Pro Staff.
Yeah, and he talked quite a bit, gave us a nice little rundown. I learned a few new little tidbits.
Actually, what was kind of funny is we saw him down at Cabela's on the way home from Ohio.
Yeah, this guy walks in to do the presentation like, hey, I know you. We saw you 2 weeks ago at Cabela's. And actually, you talked to him at length about that new freak slate call or friction call.
Yeah, friction. I didn't like it that much.
So, I picked up. That was when we picked up the couple extra strikers. You bought the little jackpot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of cool seeing him. But what did you think about the seminar?
I thought that he did a really good job on calling, obviously because he's from Primo's.
Yeah.
And he liked to joke around a lot.
Yeah, he had some good jokes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I picked up some tips. This is about the 5th or 6th one I've been to, and you hear a lot of the same stuff over and over again. But what I always listen for is that one tidbit of information that I don't know or I haven't thought about. And he gave one about the running gun technique of using decoys. He doesn't use decoys. When he runs and guns, he'll take one decoy with him maybe, and that'll be, a feeding hen. And he'll put that out if he needs to. And, I got to thinking about that, and last year I had to really think hard if we took a decoy when we run and gun.
We had him with us, but we never used him.
And that's what I thought. But talking with Kevin, my buddy Kevin Hutchings, who actually is joining us on Up North Journal as part of our staff now, he's going to be doing some hunting and different things with us this year and getting some stuff done for us. And actually, the video that I'm putting on the internet right now he was with us this weekend, and we'll go into more of that later. But he said that we had one with us and we put it out one time, but I can't remember. But, it was a good point. When you're running and gunning, you don't have time to really make a setup, so to speak. You're calling. If you hear one, you're getting as close to that bird as you can, and then getting down, hunkered down, setting up, and trying to draw them in, for the shot.
Yeah.
So you really don't have time to throw those decoys out. Like you would if you're in a blind situation. So, and I think you're going to cover a little more on that later, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going to talk about blinds and decoy setups.
And Mikey's game bag. So, but no, the seminar was good. And if you guys get an opportunity to go to a seminar, especially if you're a new turkey hunter, or if you've never been turkey hunting and you want to know about it, great place to go to get information. Not only do you get to listen to somebody talk about turkey hunting, there's a lot of people there who have generally done some turkey hunting, and you can share ideas. Not only that, you might meet somebody that might kind of take you under their wing, so to speak, and show you the ropes.
What I thought was kind of weird is some people were first-time hunters, and there was 2 sections of seats with the island between them, and the one side was all new hunters, and the other side was all like us,
seasoned hunters. Yeah. There was a good number of new hunters there, which that's good. That we've got some new hunters in the in the sport that's coming through and checking things out and getting out in the outdoors. If you haven't been turkey hunting in the spring, I'm telling you, man, there's no better time to be in the woods. It's an awesome experience. So if you get the opportunity, get out there and check it out. So, but that was the first part of our Saturday morning.
I was actually kind of mad we didn't win that gun.
Yeah, I wished I bought some raffle tickets. That's another thing. They usually have some good raffle prizes, and we put in for some raffle drawings on the new Benelli Supernova 2.
This is the only seminar that we haven't won anything that we've gone to.
Yeah, I think so. But, that happens. No big deal.
Except that hat that Kevin gave Jake.
Yeah, but, it wasn't too bad. We had a good time and got some information. That's what it's all about. Hey, well, listen, before we go on with the show and talk about the rest of our weekend, let's get this first break out of the way, pay a few bills, and we'll be right back, and we'll cover up the rest of our Saturday.
If you're looking for the best in outdoor hunting and fishing podcasts, look no further than the Outdoor Radio Network. Each week we have dozens of podcasts devoted to outdoor sports, with shows like On the Water with Bob Murray, Bass Champ Journal, Surf and Shore Fishing, just to name a few. Check out all outdoor podcasts on the OutdoorRadioNetwork.com.
Welcome back, everybody. And now let's get back into some good stuff that we did this weekend. But first, I just noticed, Michael, when we did the break here, my stuff is up on YouTube. My download's done, so
cool.
We didn't crash. So, and actually, you know what? Conveniently, that leads right into what we did this weekend, because what we did this weekend is what I did the 2 videos of. After we got done with the seminar, we packed up and headed to the gun range. We had me, you, Mackenzie, and Jake, and then Kevin Hutchins.
Pro staff Kevin Hutchins.
Yeah, our pro staff hunter, Kevin Hutchins, came with us. What do you say about pro hunters?
Sponsored hunter.
Sponsored hunter. Actually,
we can call him pro, though.
Yeah, because he's not sponsored.
Yeah.
None of us are sponsored. But, yeah, and he brought his 2 daughters along, and we took the guns out and went out to the gun range and had a pretty good day. He actually had just picked up a new shotgun for his daughter, or daughters, I should say, for turkey season, a nice 20 gauge. And he wanted to get that out to the field and do some shooting on that and seen hot pattern and all that good stuff. So got that out there, and we got Jake and Mackenzie out there to the range. And actually, first time they had ever shot the shotgun off of the bench. We made them sit down into the sitting position for turkey shooting. You know, you've experienced it a couple times, and I've practiced that way, but they had never done it. And I
haven't shot that way in a while, and it kind of hurt my shoulder.
Yeah, it was a new experience for them. So with that being said, like I said, Jake went with us, and Jake is here in studio with us today to talk about his big exploits out on the trap field and out at the gun range. So tell everybody hello.
Hey.
So did you have a good time out at the trap field this week?
Yep.
Okay. Well, you remember when we got out there and we started shooting the turkey guns, and we shot a little bit off the bench, and then remember when I had you sit down on the ground and shoot from the shooting or from the sitting position? What did you think that was all about? Was that a little bit harder to shoot that way?
Yeah.
And why did we have to do that?
Because there wasn't going to be any benches out in the woods.
Yeah, that's right. There's no benches in the woods to sit on, is there? So when we're out there getting ready to put the whammy on a turkey, we got to get down up next to a tree, right?
Yep.
So, and you got to bring that knee up and get all lined up for the shot. So that was different, or was it hard for you to shoot like that?
Yeah, it's kind of hard.
Yeah. What was hard about it?
Lifting up the gun.
Keeping the gun lifted up. Yeah, I had to help you a little bit. So what we're gonna have to do is take a shooting stick out, aren't we?
Yeah.
Keep the gun elevated and get it to the right height, so that way when old Mr. Tom comes in, you can introduce him to some number 6 shot, right? So, yeah, Michael, you've shot that way a couple times before.
Yeah, the turkey shoot, and then I shot out there.
At the range that way.
Yeah, what I forgot about the range is to keep my shoulder off the post.
Yeah, you got to keep that shoulder off the post, off the tree, whatever is behind you. Make sure you're shooting, that off shoulder. So, and actually something that I've always wanted to try, and we're going to talk about here towards the end of the end of this little show, not show, but segment, is about shooting off hand. Something we wanted to try. And actually, I didn't do that sitting down. I wish I would have, but we did put it to use later, and we'll talk more about that. So. When you're out there shooting, Jake, are you comfortable getting down there and sitting down? Are you ready to put the whammy on them turkeys?
Yeah.
Okay, you going to be able to handle it and take one this year, you think, when we get down to Ohio? Okay, so get that sitting position all situated, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and what would be the most important thing when you hear that Tom coming in? Remember we talked about at the seminar, you heard that guy talking about, what did he say to do with the gun?
Get it in the ready position so you're ready to shoot it when it comes in.
Yep, get it pointing right towards where that you think that bird's coming through, right? Yeah, don't wait till that last second, because what happens if we wait till the last second and then we...
You'll spook it off.
Yeah, I'm going to spook that bird off. That's right. So, yeah, see, you were awake in the summer. I thought you were sleeping over there. All right. So, yeah, we did we did the shooting there on the range, got the guns all patterned in. Actually, we kind of know what our guns do, but, Kevin wanted to get the girls out and get them shooting a little bit. And after we got done shooting the shotguns, this week I purchased myself a nice little 40 caliber, not revolver, a 40 caliber semi-automatic pistol.
I love that gun.
And actually took it out to the trap, or not to the trap field, but to the rifle range, and got to shoot it for the first time. And I was really surprised at how, not surprised, but pleasantly surprised, I guess, and happy at the way it shot. It fit nice, it cycled nice, and target acquisition was nice. It was just, I think it's going to be a really nice, versatile gun for me to use. So. And Kevin brought out the hand cannon.
Oh, yeah.
That
gun was awesome.
What we call the hand cannon. 454 Taurus Raging Bull. And if you guys don't know what that gun is, all I'm going to tell you, go to our video site there on the myhuntingandfishing.com.
Or YouTube.
Or YouTube, either one. And click on our video that's called Pistol Shooting at the Range. And there's a nice little 9 to 10 minute video there. We shot the 40 cal, we shot a 45 6 hour, and we shot the 454 Raging Bull Taurus. And I'm telling you what, man, that thing is a hand cannon. Is all I can tell you. It's nasty.
Yeah, if you're standing behind it, you feel the air coming off it.
You do, don't you?
You can feel the repercussion about 5 feet away.
Yeah, the percussion coming off that revolver, man, is just, even behind it, you can just feel the air pressure. It's pretty nice. And we actually got some video of some nice flash coming off of it, too.
Yeah.
On one of the shots. We were lucky enough to catch that. But we spent a little time shooting those, and that was pretty nice. And then we went over to the trap field, where little Jake, yeah, you're over here, you got your hands up in there, raise the roof, right? Why are you doing that, bud? What's up there?
We're shooting clay pigeons, and I got 50% of them.
Yeah, you did better than 50%. You shot 6 out of 11. Guys, for you guys who don't know, Jake is 8 years old, and he was out there with single shot 20 gauge, unassisted. I'm talking about, we were there with him, don't get me wrong, but we were there behind him. I had got the video camera. He's loading and closing the breech, getting ready in the firing position, and calling pull, raises gun up, gets locked on the bird, and he busted 6 out of 11 birds. And for an 8-year-old kid, that this is only the second time he shot clay pigeons, I was shocked. I mean, the kid, he did real well, and I'm proud of him. So give me a high five there. Yeah, give me some knuckle too, man. All right. So what'd you think about that? Was that cool or what? Well, talk to the guys about it. Tell everybody out there what's going through your mind. What are you thinking when you're up there with the gun and you're getting ready to load up and call?
Well, I'm thinking that if I get one, I don't think Michael was thinking you don't want to go take me duck hunting because he's thinking I'm going to shoot out this bird.
Oh, okay. So if you can do good at shooting the clay pigeons, then Michael's going to take you duck hunting so you can shoot some ducks, huh? All right. Well, we're going to have to do that. We won't be able to go this year in Michigan, but if we do some duck hunting down in Ohio, you'll definitely get to go. So that's cool.
And I imagine I'll get one.
Yeah, well, the way you were shooting, I think you definitely get one. And I don't think there's any question about that. You had some real nice wing shooting skills there. I dare say you'd probably do a little better than I do. I mean, when I'm on, I can hit pretty well. But, yesterday I did all right. I didn't hit everything and don't ever claim to, but, I do all right. Problem is, I can't hit ducks. It's totally different. I don't know what it is.
Well, you like to shoot a little early, too.
Yeah, I get a little gun happy and try to bust them before they actually get in and get locked up. I don't know why, but that's just, I don't know, trigger happy, I guess. But, yeah, Jake, you did a good job, man. I'm real proud of you. You more importantly, you were safe. You practiced good, safe handling skills. And, guys, that's what it's all about. It's not about busting all the birds. It's if you can go out and you can safely handle a firearm, be safe, and have fun while you're doing it, that's what it's all about. But speaking of having fun, you didn't have too much fun shooting clays there at the beginning, did you?
No, I missed all of them.
You had,
I probably hit about 11. Well, no, they threw up 11, but I didn't hit any of them.
I think you might have hit one.
Yeah. On
the second shot when you're shooting that over and under.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin brought an over and under that was pretty nice, and I think the second shot you finally got one. But, you know, ever since we've been out there to the range in the last 2 years, you have struggled shooting clay pigeons consistently.
Yeah.
And yesterday you were really struggling. And what amazed me is towards the end of the day, we're getting ready to leave, and we had a few clays left. And as a joke, Kevin can shoot left-handed. I mean, he's good left-handed. He can shoot right and left-handed.
Yeah.
He's ambidextrous. And he's like, he said, throw on. I'm going to shoot one left-handed. And I'm like, you know, that's what I was going to do today when we were out the turkey, sighting in the turkey guns. I wanted to start shooting left-handed. Because when you get a bird coming in and you get hung up and you're a right-handed shooter, if you can't shoot left-handed, you may lose the opportunity of taking a bird. And that's the one thing I really wanted to do this year was start to shoot left-handed, and I didn't do that. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to miss, but go ahead, throw one up. I'm going to shoot left-handed. And sure enough, man, I started hitting them left-handed. And with the trap, you know, throwing up clay pigeons. I was shocked. And the biggest thing it was hard for me was forcing myself to keep my right eye closed because I'm right eye dominant. And that is the first time I ever shot a gun left-handed, and I took 2 out of 3 birds.
That's like 7 out of 7.
And this is the kicker of the whole day, guys. Michael he struggled and struggled and struggled.
And I shoot right-handed.
He's a right-handed shooter, and he shoots awesomely right-handed with a pistol, with a shotgun at a sitting down range, or at a target with a rifle or, you know, a deer, what have you.
I can shoot stand-up with like rifles and stuff too.
Yeah, exactly. But when it comes to moving targets with the clays, it's no secret you've struggled. And we said, okay, Michael, for grins and giggles, shoot left-handed. First time he's ever held a gun on the offhand.
I turned around and I had my right eye closed and I looked at you and I'm like, pull.
Yeah, he had the same problem having to force that right eye closed. But first one up, bam, he hit it. Second one up, bam, he hit it. He hit 7 in a row. 7 out of 7 left-handed. He never ever shot left-handed.
Let's just say I'm going left-handed for ducks now.
If you guys are struggling with something, try that, man. What the heck, you know? If you're struggling shooting on a moving target with a shotgun, you know, try going offhand for, you know, whatever reason you picked it up.
Yeah.
And it made a huge difference.
What surprised me is I'm right eye dominant.
Yeah, even being right eye dominant, you still made that switch and it worked for you.
Maybe I'm cross eye dominant.
I don't know. If you do that long enough, your odds will stick that way. But you know, it really opened my eyes to the fact that we get so used to shooting a certain way, and we force, you know, not force, but you know, we just create those habits, and we sit down and we do the same thing over and over again, you know, and whether we're dead on or whether we're close, you know, quote unquote close enough. Okay, that's close enough. You know, I take my gun out deer season, I'll be good. You know, if you're having troubles with something, or even if you're not having troubles, switch once in a while. Just see if you can do it. You might be surprised at the results. I know I was, and I know you were too. That's my goal next time I go out to the range is I'm going to try to shoot predominantly left-handed. I'm going to try to force myself to shoot mostly that day left-handed and see what my results are. Because, like I said, turkey hunting, especially turkey hunting, you can't move, man. That bird comes in the wrong way, and you're a right-handed shooter. If you can't switch off and shoot left-handed, you know, you might lose the opportunity to take a nice bird.
See, what I'm not sure about, though, is for duck season, how I use that semi-auto, and it's just going to be kicking them shells in my face and sticking with my 22.
Well, the thing we talked about, I talked to Kevin about that, and, you know, we discussed that at some length. And we're under the presumption that, and we need to check this out, but that shell, yeah, it's going to come back, but it's going to come back and go across your shoulder. So, you know, that's something that, give it a try. You know, like I said, just give it a try. It's well worth taking a few extra minutes and giving it a wing and seeing what happens. Like I said, you might be surprised.
Yeah, it's just hard keeping your other eye closed.
Yeah, but it's like anything else. It's just practice, practice, practice. If you start practicing that, then, you know, hopefully it'll come to you. So, well, listen. Well, that was our weekend. Had a good weekend. Did a lot, you know, one whole full day outside. I mean, we got a lot of stuff in, so found out some new things, tried some new things. So let's take a quick break, and we'll be back with the rest of the show.
If you're looking for the best in outdoor hunting and fishing podcasts, look no further than the Outdoor Radio Network. Each week we have dozens of podcasts devoted to outdoor sports, with shows like On the Water with Bob Murray, Bass Champ Journal, Surf and Shore Fishing, just to name a few. Check out all outdoor podcasts on the OutdoorRadioNetwork.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Now to our outdoor news of the week. Got a couple quick little things here I want to throw at you guys. Interesting thing I found this week on NRAHuntersRights.org, and it's just a quick little story, basically of a guy down in Ohio that he's a veteran, fought in I don't know if it was Iraq or Afghanistan, but basically he's been fighting, here recently in one of the wars, and he's disabled. And the headline is, "Should Disabled Veterans Hunt for Free Anywhere in the U.S.?" And the argument is that, basically that they fought for their country, they've put their life on the line, and they come back once they're out of service, and being disabled, and it shows a picture of this gentleman here, he's in a wheelchair. And he would like to hunt and do some out-of-state hunts, but, we have to pay these big exorbitant fees to hunt out-of-state. And he feels that seeing how he's served his country, put his life on the line, and now he's permanently disabled, he would like to be able to hunt for free. What do you think?
I think that he should, just like you said, how he put his life on the line, just because of what he's done for the country and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing. I can see that. I haven't really thought it through a whole lot to think about the pluses and the minuses. I guess the pluses definitely. Giving these guys an opportunity, especially this gentleman here, like I said, who's wheelchair bound, having to pay exorbitant fees to go somewhere. Number one, he's limited to what he can do anyway and where he can go. I mean, he's not going to be able to climb the Rocky Mountains and go hunt elk. I'm not saying he couldn't go on an elk hunt somewhere, but he's going to be limited to what he can do.
Another thing is that he'd have to have someone go with him.
Exactly. So, to let these guys hunt, I don't see a problem with it. I really don't. I think it'd be a good faith gesture for the states here throughout the United States to extend a helping hand to these guys who still have a passion to get out in the woods and hunt. If you guys out there got an opinion on it, let us know. Like I said, drop us an email. It's just something that I came across and just wonder what you guys out there might think.
I have a feeling Bob Rich will get a good reply out of this.
Yeah, he's a veteran, and rightfully so. He's very opinionated on the rights of veterans and people who have fought, and he can only attest to that because he's a person who has served, as well as the other thousands of Americans who have served. I can't attest to that because I didn't serve. I have an opinion on it, and I support them in everything they do, but I have no firsthand knowledge. And you know what? I don't see a thing wrong with letting these guys hunt for free. There's not a problem with it at all, especially these guys who are disabled. My hat's off to them, and I think that's the least we could do, is give these guys an opportunity to get back out and enjoy something that they truly enjoy. So, drop us a line on it. Let us know what you think about that. It's just it's a nice little article here I read and thought I'd throw your way. Something else that's been in the news a lot lately, and I've actually had a concern myself, is a lot of flooding going on right now in the Midwest, especially down in Missouri, Arkansas, Kentucky area, Ohio, Illinois, Indiana. A lot of the snow melt-offs coming with all these big torrential rains, a lot of flooding. Matter of fact, a guy we did the interview with here a couple weeks back, Ken Johnson, is getting ready to go down to Arkansas and do his fly fishing trip for brown trout that they do every year. And I don't know what river, and I think they're only about a week, maybe 2 weeks away from leaving. And I know there was concerns a couple weeks ago about the flooding and how that was going to affect the fishing down there. Also, what I've been wondering about, how does this affect the turkey hunting? Because we're doing our out-of-state turkey hunt down there in southeastern Ohio. And when we went down to do our scouting, you've seen how muddy.
Yeah.
There was a lot of water, there's a lot of mud, a lot of slop. in the hollows and the creeks and everything down there.
And that lake turned all muddy.
Yeah, the lake that we were thinking about fishing was definitely up over the banks a little bit where the water had run off in that and made it all muddy. So I've, kind of wondered this, and I found this article. A biologist has talked about the flooding and how it affects the turkeys. And he said recent floods in several U.S. states have some hunters concerned about the impacts of the wild turkey population. However, wildlife biologists with the National Wild Turkey Federation say there shouldn't be a need for concern. During the spring, the hens typically lay their eggs in nests on the ground, and when they lay the entire clutch of 8 to 12 eggs, they set on it for several days and set on top of the nest to incubate them. Now, the hens haven't even started nesting yet, and the affected states, such as Missouri, Arkansas, Kentucky, and Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, have yet to see their birds start their mating ritual or start trying to nest. And until the floodwaters recede, the birds will simply just move to a higher ground or get into trees or move from limb to limb out of the flooded areas if they need to. That's what this guy, Robert Abernathy of the NWTF, is saying. And according to Abernathy, an overabundance of rain during the breeding and nesting season, that's when there's major problems. And it could displace the wild turkeys from the wet bottomlands. During that breeding and nesting season, that could have a bigger impact. But right now, it's more of a matter of inconvenience, he says, for hunters than it is to the wild turkey population. They're basically they're out of the area a little bit. They're roosting in different places where they need to be to get away from the water. But as he was saying, if these floods occur later in the year, say into later April and May, when the hens are incubating the clutches of their eggs, some of the nests could be lost. But for now, there's no real concern. The floods do not pose any real danger to the population. One thing they need to look for, though, however, is if the poults were hatching, even after the nesting season, extended cold rain in the first few weeks of a poult's life can be devastating to the next year's turkey population. And that comes from Dr. James Earl Kennemar. He's the NWTF Senior Vice President for Conservation. He says, in fact, after rains after poults hatch is much worse than a heavy rain during the incubation period. Research has been conducted in New York showed that the spring and summer weather plays a major role in turkey population. Heavy rains during the nesting and poult seasons have much more of an impact on turkey populations than the harsh winters do. So, we tend to think that right now these big rains and runoffs and flooding that's going on is going to devastate the wildlife in the area, especially like right now, turkey season coming up. Like I said, and Ken's going down to do his fishing trip down in Arkansas, and you wonder how it's going to affect the fish population in that area, how it's going to affect the streams and the rivers and all that, where they're going to do their fishing. But the biologists and researchers are saying that for the turkey, it's actually more so in the late spring, early summer, with a lot of rain that could really affect the population for the next year. So, that being said, I guess we don't have a whole lot to worry about just yet. I guess it's more of an inconvenience for us than it is for the birds. They'll move along and do what they need to do, I guess. So, now, Michael, you brought up an interesting point here just a little while ago when we were in commercial break about a letter I received this week.
Oh, yeah. That's crazy.
So, you want to kind of get into it a little bit, or do you want me to get into it?
You know more about it.
Well, as you guys know, I've been writing for a web blog. It's called Hooks and Bullets.
Soapbox.
I'm not going to get on my soapbox, but I'm gonna vent just a little bit here, guys. On that blog site, I tend to get a little more controversial. I'm a little more edgy in what I write than what I talk about here on the podcast. Obviously, it's for a little bit of a different audience. And there was an article written it was an editorial letter written to our local newspaper here in Flint, the Flint Journal. And actually, there was 3 letters written in about 4 days. And 2 of the letters came from out of state, and 1 came from a guy that lives real close to where we live. I mean, within a stone's throw. And all 3 letters were attacking. They called them leg hole traps, but they're actually foothold traps. There's a difference. They don't grab them by the leg, they grab them by the foot. And whether that's neither nor there right now, the main thrust of the article was they were attacking hunting, they were attacking trapping, and attacking people, basically meat eaters, so to speak. How we're cruel, Okay, I'm not going to get into the all the facts and details of the letter, but basically it was an attack on our outdoor heritage. I had enough. I was so mad and outraged when I read that article that night. I said, no, I'm not going to write a letter on it yet. I'm going to go to bed, get a good night's sleep, calm down. And I got up the next morning, had my cup of coffee, reread the letter again, and I wrote a letter to the editor in response to what this last person here locally had written. And I took that and posted it on the Michigan Sportsman forum that I regularly go to get information from. And I also posted it on my blog site, along with the link to the letter that the guy originally wrote. But basically what I did, I was so mad the night before. If I had wrote the letter that night, I would have done more harm than good, because I would have hit him with both barrels, reloaded, grabbed a 50-round clip, and unloaded that, and grabbed everything I had, and I would have just, you know what I'm saying? I would have went off. But I surgically took a knife and cut his argument apart, bit by bit, detail by detail, every point he had, and everything he said was either, number one, a lie, or it was made up, fabrication, or it was just based on fear. So I surgically went and cut apart his whole argument and supported it with facts and basically let him have it. And I posted that on the Michigan Forum page along with his letter. I posted it on, like I said, the blog site, the Hooks and Bullets, and sent that letter on to the editor. And I hope it gets published. But anyway, it wasn't 2 days later I received an email, and actually it was a comment on that blog site about that article or that letter that I wrote. And it was from an anti.
You should pull it up so that way we can read it.
What, the letter?
No, the comment.
No, no, because like I said, it's that site that I write for is a little edgier, and I don't want to get into that on this website because, like I say, this is more of a family show. For those of you who want to read it, go to it and read it and check it out. But the whole point of this is stand up for your rights, people. That's what this is all about. But basically, this lady wrote me from out in California. And, you know, she called me all kinds of things, and I tend to unload on her a little more than I did in the letter. I didn't get too nasty, but, you know, when you come to my website and you attack me personally, I take it personal, and I will respond personally. So, and I did. And I posted my response there, and it's there for everybody to see. And anybody who wants to write this lady, let me know, because I do have her email address. I will give you her email address, and you can respond personally to her if you'd like I did. I responded to her. I emailed her back the exact letter that I put on the blog site. But my point is when we write to these things and post on these forums, people, remember, when you do that, you leave a trail along with your email address. You leave your IP address. I now have I've got her IP address of her computer. I've got her name. I know where she lives, what city she lives in. And all it does is take a little bit of check, and people can find you out real quick like. So when you start blasting people on their personal forums and their personal websites, remember that. And that's all I'm going to say about that. You got to use a little bit of tact and a little bit of couth. Do not go and attack these people personally. Do it with a surgical knife. You'll gain more respect that way. Than just going out and blatantly hammering people. But my whole point about this is stand up for your rights. When people are writing letters to the editor, when they're getting on these web forums and different things in the media, you know what? Stand up and say, you know what? That's wrong. That's not right. It's misinformation. That's not true. And hit them with the facts. Hit them right between the eyes with the facts. Not with lies and not with fears, because that gets you nowhere. And you will do more good for the hunting, the fishing, and the outdoorsmen of this nation than any other thing, because that's where we're getting beat up, guys. We have a small group of people out there, small faction of these people, who are trying to control what we do and tell us what we can do, where we can do it, and when we can do it. And you know what? We have far greater numbers. We spend far more money than they do. But you know what? They're hammering us, man. They're hammering us. They're killing us because we don't stand up and fight. And it's high time we did that. So that's my rant, and I'm off my soapbox.
This reminds me of your tree stand thread.
Yeah, there was a thing on that we talked about on tree stands and removing them, and that whole deal went on for about 2 weeks. Matter of fact, I seen somebody posted on it again on Michigan Sportsman, and that whole argument is still going on. We're beating each other up, instead of helping each other out. Obviously, that whole argument on the tree stand issue was when you're supposed to have them down, people leaving them up in the woods. And people are still fighting on it. You know what? It's breaking the law, flat out. If you leave them up in the woods past the time you're supposed to take them down, it's against the law. So take them down, because all you're doing is hurting us hunters. You're leaving a bad name for us. So
What I thought was funny is how that one hunter just came out in the open and said about how him stealing all them tree stands, cutting them down.
Yeah.
Saying that he went out and he got 5 nice ones today.
Yeah. Well, that's stealing.
Yeah.
It's flat out stealing. Don't cut tree stands down. Go to the DNR. If they're supposed to be down by a certain date in your state, go tell the DNR where they're at, and it's their job to take them down. Okay? Flat out. Here in Michigan, they got to be down by March 1st, and that's the bottom line. And there was people that weren't taking them down, and that's where the whole argument started. And all we're doing is cutting our own throats. We're making a bad name for ourselves. So, but okay, well, I'll get off my soapbox now. But yeah, guys, go check out my rant on that on hooks and bullets. That's at MichiganHuntingToday.com/hooks and bullets /. And if you can't find that, go to our website, upnorthjournal.com, and there's a link to it there. So, and I appreciate some support on that if you guys go over and check it out. That website's really taken off here recently.
Yeah.
It's growing pretty well. I mean, I'm getting a lot of page views over there and hits. And I get a little money for that. I write for them every day. Sometimes I'll post 2 or 3 articles a day, depending on what's on my mind. And believe me, I've got a lot on my mind.
Yeah.
And
You've got about 3 or 4 pages full of stuff.
And I love to share my opinions. And not all of them I share on here, because like I said, I get a little more opinionated on things there. And if you don't agree with me on something, drop me a comment on there. I'll talk with you about it. I love conversation. I love to converse back and forth and discuss things. I don't argue unless you're personally attacking me. But I mean, I love to discuss things and debate things, because open discussion, that's how ideas grow, and that's how we evolve and move our hunting community along. So
that's what forums were invented for.
Exactly. It's not to hide behind some screen name and call somebody names. That's not what it's about. So, but yeah, come on over, check it out. Check out my site. Grab a cup of coffee tomorrow morning. Log on, get over there, and let me know what you think. So, all right, take it away, Michael.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll start it up. And now Mikey's game bag. Well, this week on Mikey's game bag, I'm going to be talking about blinds and decoy setups.
Blinds, like blind people, or?
Don't make fun of me.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. We're getting giddy here, folks.
Yeah.
It's getting late. We're working late tonight.
Yeah.
It's a late Sunday night.
Well, basically what I want to talk about was different types of decoys. I'm not sure if we already talked about that, but the decoy setups and blinds.
We talked a little bit about decoys. We haven't really talked a lot about, per se, setups, but I know why you want to talk about decoys tonight,
Yeah.
because what did we get in the mail this week?
The Montana 2D decoys that
Yeah.
we ordered.
Yeah, we finally got those in this week. And you know what, folks? Man, these things are different. I'm here to tell you, it's nothing like I've ever seen before. I had this preconceived notion of what a 2D decoy was going to be. But these, here, hand me that one laying over there.
Bam.
They're, if you think of a pop-up blind, how they roll them up and they stick them in these backpack bags, and then they're coiled up in a little circle. That's what these are. But they're decoys. They're spring-loaded deals with fabric on them. And, man, you just grab a hold of it and let go and just kind of shake it, and the thing just kind of pops out.
Kind of like this.
Yeah, and bam, there's a hen and there's a tom. They're cool, man. The fabric on these things,
They look realistic.
the detail on them, on the print, is really strikingly great, man. I don't know. It's hard to describe without actually seeing one in person. If you see pictures of them, it's one thing, but
It's kind of funny on this tom. They have the warning label right on its head.
yeah, right on the fan.
Yeah.
What does it say there? Montana decoys look so real that all precautions must be taken, and another hunter might mistake the decoy for the real thing. Carry the decoy folded and concealed. Always wear fluorescent orange when the decoy using any decoy. Yeah, the turkey's going to see if you do that. They have to say that.
Well, on the other side, it doesn't say anything.
Yeah, well, and the reason they say that, dude, that looks like a tom.
I know.
I mean, that thing looks real.
Tomorrow, what we're going to have to do, since it's spring break, is set these out in the yard and take a picture.
Yeah, we talked about...
And then we'll take a picture of our foam ones and compare them.
Yeah, we talked about doing these field tests, and that's one way we're going to do this, is we're going to compare them to the others and show you what they look like. But, you're talking about decoy setup. We need to take some pictures of some different types of setups, so to speak. But the reason they put that on that tom, I mean, yeah, that thing looks real. And the last thing you want to do is get behind that dude and start calling, and another hunter think out the tom. And
I've seen that happen before, but luckily there wasn't a hunter. But the guy he had, I think it might have been the same decoy.
Yeah.
But he was having it, and he was belly crawling across, and he had the gun out the side, and he shot at Tom.
Okay. Oh, so he didn't get shot at with the
No.
decoy. Okay, I thought you meant he got shot at.
No.
But yeah, that's a danger you take in using these decoys, man. If you're set up in a precarious situation and you're calling, remember, we're wearing camo, full camo. It says wear fluorescent orange, but turkey hunters know you can't wear fluorescent orange out there except when you're moving back and forth through the woods. When you're set up, you got to be inconspicuous to the toms. But if you're sitting behind one of these things and calling, you could get a face full of six shot. That'd put a good ending to your hunt. So that's you got to be careful where you set these things up. I guess that's the number one thing about setup. We've talked about the breeding tom decoys along with the hen decoy.
Yeah, they got the love triangles with the two, feeding hen, just regular hen, and then jakes.
So, maybe this week we can talk a little bit about that. But the biggest thing, I'll tell you, probably the most important thing when setting up, if you're using a jake decoy, or maybe it's a B mobile, or one of these King strut, these full body tom foam strutting decoys, one of two things: do not set up directly behind one. Okay, so you're looking at the butt end of it, because what's going to happen? Two things are going to happen. When that tom comes in, when a tom takes on another tom, he comes in and he looks at him straight on. They fight face to face. Well, if you're looking at the back side of that decoy, what are you looking at? You're looking, that other tom's looking straight at you. He's going to pick up your movement. Or you can get a face full of six shot, like I said.
Yeah.
Face
or
full
you won't even be able to see the bird.
Yeah. So the biggest thing you want to do is have the decoy, a tom or a jake, either facing across you, 90 degrees across your field of vision, or better yet, have that tom sitting in the field within your shooting range facing you. Because what's going to happen, that bird's going to come in. What's he going to do? He's going to turn.
Go face on.
Face on, especially if you're a bow hunter. This is huge if you're a bow hunter. He is going to be looking away from you. And that's when you can get into position. If you're a bow hunter, the best shot for those guys at bow hunting, especially if you're going to have the bird mounted for taxidermy, shoot him in the vent, which is basically the butt. That's what we mean by the vent. You shoot him in the rear end, and it rams that arrow right up through the body cavity, okay? And that way you get a good clean kill. But if, say you're a gun hunter, when he turns to take that thing on, get into position, get your shooting position. That way when he gets done kicking that thing's rear end or whatever he's going to do, when he turns, man, wham. Or, like I said, put it 90 degrees in your field of vision. So you're looking across the body, not at it or from behind it. And when that tom comes in to face him head on, you've got a nice profile shot when he sticks that head up. Bam, you lower the boom on him. Because one thing you don't want to do, what did the taxidermist say?
Oh, got it.
No. When you're talking about shooting one.
Oh, don't shoot it when it's in strut.
Or when it's looking right at you.
Yeah, bless its tail feathers off.
Because you will shoot the tail feathers right off that dude. And then you can't have a mount done. Fan mount, anything. So, best time to get them is when they're coming across, running.
Broadside.
Yep, when it's a broadside shot and they stick that neck out, man, wham, put the whammy jammy on them. Other than that, what I like to do is, if I'm going to set decoys up, I always like to use two hens, at least two hens and a jake, or maybe three hens, just
And on feeding or looking.
Yeah, you get the feeding ones, you get the ones that are looking. there's different scenarios that you
They're
can use.
basically turkey decoys are just like goose decoys, field decoys.
Different positions.
Yeah.
So, but that's probably the biggest thing to think about when you're putting those out is where to place that Jake decoy. In relationship to where you're setting. Now, you said you're going to cover a little bit about blind situations.
Yeah, pop-up blinds and stuff. There's lots of different blinds on the market, which is something I've been looking at, and I really don't understand why people like to buy these double archery blinds. First of all, it's an out-of-date camo style, and second of all, it's basically like your pop-up blind, the nice one, I think called the Brick House, and they're twice as much money.
Well, the big thing about the double bull blinds that I've seen is the 360, and what that means is they have an opening that can go completely around the whole blind, and it's a separation of top and bottom material, and it's right in the middle of the blind. If you're thinking from the floor to the ceiling, right in the middle is where the seam is, and from what I can gather, there's an elastic band there, and you can pull it up and separate and open your field of vision up as wide as you need it. So that's kind of from what I've seen why those guys use them. And I know the insides are coated with a black fabric, which gives it total darkness. Looking if the birds or the animals looking at that opening, they can't see you. So not only that, beyond that, I really don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of the same things with a lot of these manufacturers is you're buying a lot of name recognition along with things. And I know the guys that use double bulls, they have a lot of success with them, and I'm not knocking them. I've never used one, so I can't really speak good or bad. I've just what I've seen on TV. But the one thing the guy told us this week about, what he tell us about pop-up blinds with turkeys, about setting them out.
Make sure that you have it set up before, and if you're bow hunting, make sure you can draw it fully back.
And don't worry about setting in an open-up field, because he said these turkeys don't even notice them.
Yeah.
It's not like a deer, he said, for some reason. Deer, when they see something that's put out there that's unusual, that wasn't there before, they get real spookish. And turkey, they don't. For whatever reason, he said, you can put it in the middle of a field. If it wasn't there the night before, you go in that next morning before daylight and you set up, he said, them birds come right by it and don't even think twice.
I wonder if one of them hay bale blinds would work.
I bet they'd work pretty good. I would think those would work pretty good. Be just like any other blind. Yeah. Be like any other one out in the field. So.
And then they got the other ones where there's like a chair and pullover deal.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about them.
Pretty good for running gunning though.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about those. I haven't I've sat in one in the store, but I haven't actually hunted out of one, so I can't say whether I would like it or not. To me, it's really constrictive. There's not a lot of movement, and you're limited to your shot of.
There's only about the half front of it's open.
Yeah, you can shoot straight ahead, and if you're a right-handed shooter, you can shoot to the left a little bit. If you're a left-handed shooter, you can shoot to the right a little bit. So, it just, to me, it's really confining. So, but that's it really about blinds,
Not that much to say about them.
They're good if you've got young kids you're going to take out with you, because they
if you're not going to run and gun.
Yeah, you tend to fidget a little bit and move. It conceals movement, so that's another thing to consider. So, if you're running a gun, don't even bother with one. So is that it for the game bag this week?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get out and get some pictures of these bad boys and hopefully put them to the test when we get down to Kentucky. Or not Kentucky, down to Ohio. We better
get some
not be
fried
Kentucky.
chicken?
Yeah. Get some Ohio fried chicken, fried turkey. So, all right. Well, hey, speaking of things that's going on, I think you got a little bit of something that's happened to you this week that you want to tell the guys about. I kind of threw this one at you. You don't know yet.
No.
You sold your first set of flies.
Oh yeah, I was just goofing off and I was just inventing flies, just trying to make a crawfish pattern or something. And I came up with one, and then I posted it on Michigan Sportsman. And a lot of the guys said it looks like it'd be really good for bass and stuff and carp like that. And actually, one guy, he started talking to me. He was like, "If you whip me up some of them, I'll buy some of them off you." I'm like, "Oh, that'd be cool." I'm like, "How many do you want?" He's like, "Oh, I'll take 5 of them." And then give him the total and stuff. And actually, I got the money yesterday actually, and he actually gave me some extra money.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So now you're tie
flies.
A fly tire. So
yeah.
you've tied flies now, and now you made your first sale.
Yeah.
And actually, it's your own creation. It's something that it's not a pattern that you
just something I was goofing off with.
Reproduce. It's one you made yourself. So
yeah.
That's kind of cool. So yeah, Michael's got his own little
Now
sideline going now.
Yeah, then we're getting sent up Monday.
So yeah, that's cool. You never know; it could turn into something big. You could wind up having your own fly shop someday, or who knows? You just never know where it'll take you. But yeah, the kid can tie flies, man. Some of the stuff I see is just it really amazes me. You do a nice job with them. So
I know I do.
yeah, okay, enough bragging. Okay, well, we talked earlier in the show about how we'd move things around a little bit, and actually how we'd hooked up this week with Skinny Moose Radio out east. And I wanted to give those guys a shout-out and tell them thanks for hooking up with me and giving me an opportunity to showcase the podcast somewhere else. And these guys are up in Maine, and if you so choose to go check it out on Tuesdays at 1 o'clock, the website is, like I said, Tuesdays at 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. in the afternoon is going to be our little time slot over there at Skinny Moose Radio. And their website is skinnymoose.com/broadcasting/. Actually, if you just go to skinnymoose.com, you'll be able to find it if you search through the links long enough. And then there's a little icon on there that says Listen Live Now. You click on that, and then there we are. So Tuesdays at 1 o'clock. What do you think about that?
Yeah, pretty cool.
Pretty cool. So you get to hear us being streamed on the internet. So if you're at work and you might have a little downtime, you're a little bored, and your boss isn't watching, just go over and click on it. You can listen to us at work.
Just put some headphones on.
Not that I suggest skipping out on work or anything like that, but yeah, we might be being listened to in somebody's cubicle while they're working. You never know, Michael.
Pull out Office Space with the radio.
Yeah, kind of something like that. So now, something else that's happened this week. We got a possible opportunity. I'm not even going to say what the odds are, but there is a small opportunity here. If all of our cards fall right, Michael and me and my dad and our buddy Kevin are going to be partaking in a Colorado elk hunt this fall.
Sweet.
What do you think about that?
I love the sound of that.
It's going to be the late season hunt, and it's going to be for cow elk. I mean, it won't be for a bull, but you know what? I don't care.
They're big.
There's a lot of meat on a cow. So if we were to get a couple of them, man, that'd make my day. But, not only that, the opportunity to go to Colorado in and of itself, and it's right up on the Wyoming border. And, man, it's just beautiful. I've seen pictures of the place, and it comes through a shoestring relative of the family who has a place out there. And like I said, if everything falls right, it's going to happen. But there's a couple things that have to happen. And we're going to keep you updated on it. And I just wanted to throw that out there because I'm excited about it. And I think it's really cool. And it's something that I've always dreamed about, being able to go out west with my dad someday and doing a hunt. And this is one way that we can fulfill that dream. And not only that I get to take my best friend and also my son, and who's also my best friend. So what better thing can I do than take my dad, my kid, and my best friend with me and go on a hunt? I mean, that'd just be too cool. So we're looking forward to that, hopefully.
It'd be cool to throw a fly fishing in there.
Well, I haven't told you this, but there's a stream that runs right through the property that has trout in it.
Sweet.
So you may have to tie some flies for Colorado.
Yeah.
How cool would that be?
That'd be sweet.
So, and speaking of hunting and out-of-state stuff, I got an email from my cousins last week from down south, and their turkey season in Alabama began, I think a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And we were actually going to try to get down there and do that this year, but things just still aren't working out. We've got so much stuff going on here. We don't have enough time to where we can do what we want to do and get down there. But him and his son got out, and his son bagged a nice tom, I guess, last week. Haven't got all the details on it yet. Don't have any pictures or anything like that, but hope to hear more about that here soon. So it sounds like down south they're starting to get after the birds down there, and things are starting to happen. So I know here in Michigan, we're starting to see some birds running around. Actually saw a real nice tom just pecking and walking through the field this week out behind the house. And unfortunately, we can't hunt them here. Farmer behind us don't let anybody hunt, but we do get to see them quite often. And it's encouraging. The weather's warming up, like I said at the beginning of the show.
I'll have to see the ducks back there.
Oh, we're going to have to get some pictures of the ducks and get them online of what happened last year. It was just like a zoo back there. But things are starting to happen here. We're starting to get some springtime temperatures coming through. The birds are starting to move. Ducks and geese are coming back. Starting to see a few more deer out in the field. Saw them out yesterday. Turkeys are starting to move. So I think things are starting to kind of start to waken up from the dead of winter here in Michigan. So that's a good thing. And I don't know. With that being said, that's about all I got this week. I know you're on spring break this week, Michael. We're going to try to get out and do a few things. May even start shooting the bows here real soon.
Yeah, Jacob wants to do that.
We need to get back in practice with that. I talked to Kevin tonight, and him and his daughters got out and shot today, got their bows out. So another good friend of mine that was at the seminar yesterday, Tim Ford, his son, he's looking for a bow for his son. And we're trying to keep an eye out and help him out in that direction, looking for a youth bow. So, guys, get your kids involved, man. Get them out there. You can find bows on eBay real cheap, youth bows. If kids want to shoot, man, put up a little pop-up target out in the backyard and get them outside. It's that time of year. It's time to get with it and get after it and start practicing and get ready for that fall hunting season. Not only that, man, it's just a great time to get outside. So, don't sit in the house watching TV. But make sure you get on the computer and download the doggone show, though.
Yeah.
Can't forget that. Put it on your iPod. Listen to it on your way to work. Put it on your iPod and listen to it while you're shooting your bow. Take us with you wherever you go. You got anything else for the week?
I wanted to give a shout out to Bob Rich. If you watch the new video, I have a dedication to you in that video.
Oh, yeah. I told him about that. You guys are going to get a kick out of that. Go over and check out those 2 new videos we did. We had a lot of fun yesterday. I mean, that was just a total riot. I had so much fun at the shooting range yesterday.
Yeah.
It was a good day. Guys, it's time of the year to get outside. Get out and get after it. So, anything else you want to throw in?
Nope.
Okay. Well, that'll do it. And as always, for us here at the Up North Journal, as we always say, when you're out in the woods, if you're outside, shoot straight and be safe. Until next week on the Up North Journal.